Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Voices of Motivation Conversations that Inspire. I'm your host, Smitha, and today we are following up on our last conversation about mindfulness and living in the present. It's always a beautiful idea to live in the moment, but sometimes actually doing it can feel very challenging. And as always, my dear friend and inspiration, Siona Xavier, is here to help us navigate this topic. Welcome back, Siona. Welcome back to the episode.
Thank you, Smitha. It's lovely to be here again. So, being present is so important. But yes, it's not always easy to live in the moment. But we need to remind ourselves that all we truly have is this moment. This is where life happens. And honestly, this moment is all that matters. But yes, with so much happening around us, staying fully present can sometimes feel really tough.
Yes, absolutely, Siona. And I think a lot of us struggle with this, and we understand the importance of being mindful. But things like stress, distractions, or just the demands of daily life pull us away, right? So, why do you think staying in the present moment is such a challenge for many of us? Why is it so?
A great question, Smita, and I believe it's just the nature of our minds. So, our
Yes.
minds are always active and they tend to wander to memories of the past or worries about the future. So,
Hmm.
it's almost like we're carrying a heavy bag filled with all our past regrets and future anxieties. And because of this, we often miss what's right in front of us. So, we
Yes.
are here in this moment,
Hmm.
but our minds are somewhere else. So carrying the weight of things we can't change or control.
Hmm.
So staying in the present isn't just about focus. It's about gently putting down that bag and saying, right now, I'll just be here in this moment and do what I need to do in this moment. Now, this is certainly a practice that takes time and a conscious effort. But little by little, it helps us see that life is truly happening right here, right now.
Yes, that makes sense, Yona. So, what can we do to help ourselves, stay more connected to the present, even with all these challenges on every day?
So, Smitha, one helpful approach is to start small
Okay.
without putting any pressure on ourselves.
Hmm.
We don't need to turn mindfulness into some big goal.
Hmm.
Instead, we can weave into it
Hmm.
into our daily routine in
Hmm.
simple and easy ways.
Hmm.
Like, for instance, if you're having a cup of tea, just drink the tea. Notice the warmth of the cup, the taste of the aroma. And if you're walking, just walk. Feel each step. Notice the sounds or the feeling of the breeze. So, even taking a few deep breaths throughout the day can remind us to come back to the present. So, little things like this helps us appreciate the moment we are in. And they don't require us to set aside special time. We can start with things we are already doing, and it becomes easier and more natural over time.
Yes, I love that, Siona. So, it sounds like we don't need to have a perfect, distraction-free moment to practice the mindfulness, but it's more about what we choose to focus on, right?
Exactly, Smita. So, life doesn't have to be perfectly still for us to be mindful. So,
Hmm.
life is busy, and distractions are a part of it.
Yeah.
So, mindfulness is simply the practice of
Hmm.
bringing our attention back
Hmm.
whenever it wanders. So, it's gentle and forgiving. When we notice our mind drifting, we can just guide it back without feeling like we have failed. So, this practice over time
Hmm.
helps us stay present more often. So, it's not about getting rid of the distractions, but
Hmm.
about learning to return to the moment,
Yes.
knowing that each time we do, we are building our ability to live more fully in the now.
Yes, yes, that's really encouraging. And for those who feel like they are constantly pulled by their thoughts or worries, so what advice would you give to help quiet that mental chatter to those people?
Honestly, I'd say be gentle with yourself.
Hmm.
Our minds are always busy with thoughts that keep coming and going. And
Yes.
no matter how hard we try, we can't really control them all. So instead of trying to stop every thought, we
Mm.
can take a softer approach and gently distract ourselves. So rather than struggling to quiet the mind, we
Mm.
can focus on something really simple. So this could be taking a small mindful breaths or getting involved into any small activity. So every time we focus on something else,
Mm.
these thoughts slowly lose their hold on us. So now this takes practice, but over time it feels lighter. So
Mm.
you start to see that we don't need to push away every thought. We just need to focus on something else for a while,
Yes.
and little by little it gets easier.
Yes. So these are very wonderful tips, Yona, you're given us now. So I think sometimes we feel like we have to clear our minds completely to be mindful, but what you're saying makes it feel much more accessible, actually.
Exactly. So mindfulness isn't about having a completely empty mind. It's about noticing what's there without feeling like we need to change it. So think of it as being an observer, just watching our thoughts pass by,
Hmm.
like clouds in the sky. So we don't have to follow them. We can simply notice them and return to the present. So this helps us feel calmer and clearer, and it becomes easier to be in the moment. So it's not about perfection, it's
Hmm.
just about being consistent and gentle with ourselves.
Great, great. That's very beautifully said, Siona. And I think it's reassuring to know that we don't have to be perfect at it, but we just need to be very consistent. So, before we close, what's one simple mindfulness tip you would like to leave our listeners with today?
I'd say let's not rush ourselves.
Mm,
Taking even a single moment to be fully present
mm,
can make a huge difference. So
mm,
let the small act remind you that life is right here, happening in this very moment. So this helps us start the day in a grounded way. And it's a gentle practice to
mm,
come back to whenever we can. So I understand that staying in the moment isn't always easy. I've
mm,
felt that too. But each time you try, even if it's just for a moment,
mm.
it adds up. With consistent effort, it becomes easier to focus
Mm.
on what's right in front of you.
Yes.
So, over time, this practice can lead to a life that feels more meaningful and fulfilling. It's a journey, and every small step makes a difference.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you, Siona. This has been such a comforting conversation, and I think we all feel a little more equipped to face the challenge of being in present. And now let's move on to our rapid fire inspirations. So, are you ready to go ahead?
Always ready, Smita.
Great. All right. First word is presence.
Awareness, just fully being here with all of yourself in the moment.
Great, great. So, next word is patience.
Acceptance, so it's allowing things to unfold in their own time.
Great. Love it. And finally, focus.
Clarity, seeing things clearly
Mm-hmm.
without the fog of too many thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Great, perfect answer, Siona. So I always enjoy hearing your quick reflections, and that brings us to the end of this episode of Voices of Motivation Conversations that Inspire. Thank you, Siona, for guiding us through the challenges of staying present.
Thank you, Smita. It's always wonderful to share these ideas, so I hope it helps make mindfulness a little easier for everyone listening.
Definitely, Siona. So, thank you once again, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. Remember, staying present is a journey, and every little step counts. So, join us next time for more inspiring conversations. Until then, take care and keep finding peace in the present moment. Thank you so much. Have a great day.